Welcome back to Alchemy of the Dark Feminine with your host, Grayson Kahn. Today, I want to go into detail about this dream I just had last night and what I channeled and interpreted about it from this morning. This dream in particular focused on my dad's side of the family, so specifically my dad's lineage, and there were definitely some themes of generational cycle breaking and walking away from certain themes of low vibrational control and letting go of this legacy of control being imposed on my family's line. And also there was some patriarchal systems highlighted, this energy of being silenced by, I want to say, wounded masculine structures. I don't want to say male dominant because I don't like to group men as one and the healthy masculine, mixing that with wounded masculine. So I'm going to say this was about breaking cycles from wounded masculine energy. Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate this point one time that I wrote down. So this energy of being silenced by wounded masculine structures. And in my dream, I saw my granddad's law firm, and in the dream it was like, oh yeah, this is his law firm, but in the real life world, I was like, this is not his law firm, it's not this nice. But anyways, in the dream it had like a pool, and it was white, it looked like it had that old architecture. I saw a lot of that old architecture in my hometown, but anyways, it just looked like it was worth millions. And that was the indication in the dream that it was worth millions. And so anyway, that's where I picked up and realized there was a legacy of control being imposed on my family line. And further in the dream, there were different women with me that were being forced to stay in these rooms. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, where am I and what am I doing in here? This is so weird. And that was when I tapped into this energy of being silenced by the wounded masculine structures. And so I refused to stay. And I basically ran. And me running was reflecting my sovereignty and my willingness to break these generational patterns. And anyways, I got into a really good friend's Jeep, somebody I consider very close to me. And I got in his Jeep and I had his keys and I was like, I've got to get out of here. And I had trouble opening the door. It wasn't opening immediately in the dream, of course. And then finally, I got in the Jeep, went to go start it, and somebody was like, hey, where are you going? And they started coming after me. And I just drove away. And I was in the dream, I was driving, and I was like, oh my God, I really hope this Jeep does not shut down on me. Oh my God, please help me get out of here. And so anyway, I tapped into that aspect of the dream as well, and that reflected a desire to feel supported by healthy masculine energy that empowers me rather than imprisons me. And I would definitely say this healthy masculine person in my life absolutely has and embodies that energy of empowerment and not imprisonment. And so anyway, yeah, it also represented this attempt to escape control and to rewrite my own story in my waking life. Oh yeah, and then there was this one aspect in the dream. It looked like I was in a Walmart parking lot, but when I turned around and looked at the building, and it wasn't a Walmart. But anyways, that was the vibe, that was the feeling. And this man was walking past me with a group of his friends. And he looked at me and he was dusty. And I was like, ew, fuck you. You're fucking broke ass dusty. Get the fuck out of my face. And yeah, anyways, I tried to tap into that, but I didn't get anything back because I thought it was a representation of some kind of internalized judgment or some kind of fear for being judged or making bold healing choices, walking away from the wounded masculine. But that's what I think it was. I think it was, now that I'm saying it out loud, I feel like it was a projection of the wounded masculine getting triggered for me being in my healthy masculine and healthy feminine being fuck you, I'm out, I'm not replaying this cycle. Go fuck yourself, go, yeah, no. Wounded masculine, goodbye. So anyways, that's what I feel like that was the message in that dream. And so anyway, and then I also remember like in the dream, I went back to the law firm, and when I went back, I entered into this cafeteria space, and there was this loud rap music playing like over the intercom, and it was just like the same like chorus verse repeating, and it's not like a real rap song in the real life world, but it was like really catchy, and it was a vibe in my dream because I absolutely love rap music. I grew up listening to rap music, and so anyway, I tapped into that, and I was like, what's the significance around this? And what I got back was noisy cultural programming. And so basically my subconscious was purging out old messages, like old societal messages that were, causing me to silence my inner voice, I think. Hold on, let me go look at my notes really quick because I was really curious about it. Oh yeah, so basically the noisy cultural programming was, the intention behind it is to drown out your inner voice with external expectations. So what does this look like? This communicates messages to our subconscious mind, to our inner voice, messages like, you have to hustle to be worthy. Be polite even if you're uncomfortable. Success looks like a 9 to 5, a house, and a perfect relationship. Be quiet, be small, don't be too emotional. Money is hard to earn unless you sacrifice, okay? So anyway, the reason why it was labeled as noisy cultural programming is because it gets repeated constantly in media, music, school, religion, social media, and this clashes with your soul's truth, which ends up creating internal anxiety, guilt, and or confusion. And it also can override your intuition. So that makes you doubt what you're picking up on, makes you doubt your own needs, your own wants, and your own timing. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. But yeah, I was purging out that old energy. And what else do I have in my notes? Oh yeah, I wrote down there was some sacral chakra trauma that came up. Oh yeah, because in the dream, I felt like my own grandfather on my dad's side of the family was trying to essay me. And I was like, what the fuck? I have to get out of here. Like, no fucking way. And I do remember in middle school picking up on those vibes of like, is my own grandfather like sexually attracted to me? And he definitely was. But he never abused me, but I could always feel like this want that he wanted to. Sorry, kind of trigger warning. Anyways, yeah, it just was so creepy. And let's see. I wanted to say, there's something after the cafeteria. Oh yeah. So I was following my hostess, who I actually work with in real life. I was following her like through the cafeteria, through this like small little office. And then that small office connected us to the rooms, the one room with like beds, and then the other room was just empty. And it was like almost like a classroom, but not, if that makes any sense. There was like a filing cabinet in there, but it was just like blank, and it just felt super weird in there. And I was like, no, like I'm not coming back here, like no way. And I tapped into that classroom because I was like, why was that giving me the weirdest vibes? And the information that came back was past environments in my life where I was meant to learn and grow, but instead I was controlled and abandoned. And the sacral chakra trauma that was coming up, so the sexual abuse undertones that were surfacing, that was about me and my subconscious mind showing me in the dream that I was reclaiming my right to feel safe in my body, in my voice in particular, and my success. So yeah, it was really highlighting this theme of reclaiming my right to feel safe in my voice, because anytime I spoke out and asserted my independence, especially on my dad's side of the family, like I would say my mom's side of the family, I was the golden child, but on my dad's side of the family, because they were divorced, right? So anyways, I definitely felt like the scapegoat in my dad's side of the family, because I was always calling out stuff. I was like, I don't resonate with this. I don't believe in this. This is toxic. And they like hated me for that. They absolutely hated me and resented me for everything that I always spoke about. And I also did not buy into religion ever. And I was raised both Catholic on my mom's side of the family and Jewish on my dad's side of the family. And I was like, I don't want to say your prayers. I don't feel comfortable saying those prayers. And what's really crazy now is being an adult, like being a full-grown adult, being tapped into my psychic gifts versus childhood, and actually feeling energies and feeling and seeing just everything that I couldn't before. And when I went to repeat those prayers in Hebrew, like the blessing over the challah bread, the blessing over the wine, like all the old fucking blessings that I used to have to say all the time, there is such a low vibrational frequency. When those words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, ew, I don't want to fucking say this ever again, or just at all. And yeah, I just like, it's crazy how when I look back in childhood and I was like, God, I don't want to say this. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't resonate with any of this stuff. Like, I never did. I never will. And so anyway, super interesting. I feel like the prayers had a direct connection with my relationship to my voice. And it's like reclaiming my independence over my voice and being like, fuck you and your stupid prayers. I don't fucking believe in them. I don't fucking resonate with them. And I don't give a fuck about either religion because I'm my own sovereign self. I have my own direct connection to God. I have my own direct connection to source frequency. I don't fucking need your stupid belief system to tell me what to do, what to say, how to think, and what to pray over. No, fuck you. I'm going to pray over myself, and I'm going to pray to the center of the universe, which I look at praying as like saying mantras and like healing words and phrases for myself. So yeah, if you like resonate with prayer, that's cool. I always resonate with like mantra and affirmations. But anyways, yeah, it was basically this, my grandfather was representing this old masculine power, this old wounded masculine energy. And yeah, anyways, oh yeah, and there was a point in my dream where my dad was calling me on my phone when I was running, when I was escaping his law firm. And in the dream, I was looking down at my phone, but I didn't answer my phone. Like, my dad was calling me, but I didn't hit accept. Like, I wouldn't answer it. And somehow in the dream, he penetrated the phone call and still broke through that boundary of like me answering or declining, which I feel like now that I say this out loud, it's like another representation of like not respecting my boundaries as a being, as a soul, you know? Anyway, so the dynamics that was reflecting was control. There's a lot of control dynamics being reflected when I was asserting my independence. So that was an energetic memory surfacing for clearing, which I thought was very interesting. And so anyway, the whole takeaway from this crazy dream that I had was to show me that I was breaking free from generations of wounded masculine control, and I am currently rewriting the narrative. I am the cycle breaker that rewrites healthy masculine narratives for future bloodlines if I do end up procreating and making and having kids one day, but it's definitely not the goal. Yeah, anyways. So also, my dream was showing me that my radiant self was reclaiming the right to say no and to walk away from toxic legacy energy. So super interesting. And then I asked, like, why did I go back? Like, why did I run away and then come back? And that was me being shown how much I've grown. So even in my dream, I resisted, I escaped, and I returned out of curiosity, and I still rejected the system. So it was like I was testing the waters, like my subconscious was testing the waters to see like if it was okay to go back and to heal whatever I needed to heal from that energy in that situation. So super interesting, super fascinating. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I did like a little somatic release to release this patriarchal wound in my soul. So I definitely feel called to do that. And if you don't know what patriarchal wound means, because I didn't even know what that means myself, I had to chat GPT it. Basically, it is a deep-rooted, energetic, psychological, and somatic imprint left by generations of living under systems that prioritize domination, control, suppression of emotion, and disconnection from the feminine. Okay, so this is not just societal, it's stored in your nervous system, your ancestral memory, and your cellular consciousness. This shit runs deep, okay? And I feel like I never wanted to learn what patriarchal meant because there was always so much of people's opinions around it, and that just made me not want to learn about it and learn what it meant. I know, it sounds so ignorant and so childish, but anyways, I feel like having this dream really just opened up that door for me to explore that some more. And so anyway, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And yeah, so it's basically just wounded masculine energy, this wounded masculine energy that is not just societal. It is in your nervous system. It's in your ancestral memory. It is in your cellular consciousness right now in this moment as we speak. So we're going to do this little somatic exercise. It's about just a few minutes, like 5 minutes, I think. So go ahead now and just place one hand over your heart and the other on your lower belly. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths into your body, letting your belly rise and fall. So I'll do this with you. Okay, say out loud or silently to yourself, I am safe to be here in this body. I am held. I am home in myself. Breathe into that. Tap into that. I felt called to tap up in my heart space, right on top of my nervous system area. Okay, and then for the embodied release, so shake off that inherited control. Excuse me. And then for about 1 to 2 minutes, I did this for about a minute. So I set a timer on my phone and I stood up and shook my arms, shoulders, and hands for literally a minute straight. And I set the intention to let out all tension, fear, and this quote unquote dust of that legacy and shake it out of my body. And I let it be messy. I let it be weird. I let it be awkward. You can let it be primal if that resonates with you. Like, let out some noises. Okay. And then you can repeat out loud if this feels right for you. This energy is not mine. I release the shame, fear, and control of the past. I am choosing freedom now. Okay, and this is going to, the next thing, the last thing is reclaiming your radiance. So open up your posture and your power voice. So stand tall with your chest open and your feet grounded. And I like to put my arms and my hands in a power pose. Like I put my hands on my hips, shoulders back, wide open, and I spoke these affirmations slowly and intentionally out loud. Okay, here we go. I am sovereign. I am the cycle breaker. It is safe to say no. It is safe to leave. I do not have to carry their legacy in my body or my story. I am free to build my life in my truth. My voice, my pleasure, my power are sacred and mine to reclaim. I call back my radiant self now. She is welcome here, or he. It is safe to be loved by the masculine without being controlled. So you can say, it is safe to be loved by the healthy masculine. I felt like I had to say that for myself. Okay. I trust myself to protect and provide for my inner child now. So just in this moment, allow your inner child to take the back seat, okay? Have them sit in the back seat of the car and allow your feminine and your masculine, okay, particularly your healthy feminine and masculine energy, set the intention to call that healthy energy forward and to stand now, to lead, to protect, and to nurture, and to provide, okay? And yeah, let yourself feel into any of the affirmations that lands deeply and just breathe with that, okay? And then last but not least, for the integration part, for just about a minute, you consider lie down. I think I lie down on my yoga mat. And I put my hand over my heart and my wound space. And I said, I did not cause this wound, but I am worthy of healing it. I return to wholeness now. And you can set the intention to breathe in softness and to exhale control, shame, and tension. And I actually set the intention to do this for the rest of my day today too. So all day I've just been breathing in softness and exhaling control, shame, and tension. So yeah, I really wanted to talk about that with you guys today and kind of follow up with that last podcast episode of breaking the silence around the feminine energy and that ancestral healing that I talked about last week. So anyways, I hope this really shed light on helping you guys heal your own masculine energy and maybe provide some clarity and direction for where to take your next baby steps. And yeah, maybe it brought you some answers and some guidance for what you needed at this time. So anyways, I love you guys so, so much. If you are feeling called to really deep dive and do some deep energy healing and create massive transformation in your physical reality as well as your non-physical reality, I do offer sacred alchemy sessions. So those are limited. They are on my Calendly link. I will have that link posted in the description notes below, but that is for my soul aligned collective only. So if you are looking for that massive transformation around your relationships, your living situation, your financial situation, your career situation, definitely reach out. Send me a DM on TikTok or even Instagram, or you can send me an email or just book with me. So yeah, we can just get straight into it. But yeah, that's only if you are super ready and super serious about investing in your spiritual health and your life. You're ready to transform your life and escape that patriarchal cage. So anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see y'all in the next video next Wednesday for our next deep dive. Bye for now.